the
Right,
customer
so
shot.
one question though, because I always wonder if this is like
Honey,
like-
you're out of shot.
I always wonder if this is movie logic or real logic, right? Explosive decompression, is that real or what?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Right, so I end up in space and my head doesn't pop.
No, it does not. However, the air, any liquid and air
Start
inside
to
of you
boil,
well, it technically doesn't boil because that's heat.
Oh.
No, that
It's-
happens on re-entry.
it's-
Or if you're getting
your
out of
air-
that.
It essentially vaporizes.
Oh.
Yeah, it vaporizes and tries to force itself out of your body.
So if you had
Yeah,
air in your
so-
lungs,
But it doesn't
your
explode.
lungs
All it
would-
does is it comes out of
rupture.
every orifice you've got.
Yeah, I remember. So you have to close your eyes, poke your or plug your fucking nose, hold your fucking mouth, and like have earplugs and be like,
It still comes
Oh,
out of your ears,
no.
comes out of your ass.
So you know what
it
this
doesn't come out of
means?
your
That all
urethra,
space
it'll
marines
come
wear
out of
butt
everywhere.
plugs.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Your hair
maybe-
won't explode.
So fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm just gonna turn into ice slowly, but he did have a magic. No, did he have the magic hat on?
He had the hat. He had the hat on for at least part of it. Plus, he's half alien.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll give him the half alien thing. We can imagine that the dog man might have been genetically engineered because back to 40k again, space marines can survive for a short period of time in a vacuum.
You can actually survive in space.
Also a third love.
It's estimated
Yeah,
that
you
a
want
human
to
being
know.
could survive in space
You know
for between
that
30
little-
seconds and a minute.
Slap instant spacesuit.
Mhm.
You
What
would be,
form would that have taken if she was wearing one of the fluffy dresses?
who knows?
I imagine the much more elaborate spaceship. Spacesuit.
But Daniel, you would die actually roughly as fast as you would die if you were in anything where you didn't have any oxygen. But but you would go unconscious pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, how quickly do you go out in a vacuum like that?
It's the red thing there. Are we recording?
I can't see.
I don't think so.
I think we are. I think you hit the record.
I thought I did. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Yeah, we're recording.
want to hear something funny? First female astronaut laughed her ass off when the guys from NASA asked her in all seriousness for a 7-day mission in space, would 300 tampons be enough?
NASA.
You'd think they would have planned for that, like that. Not
Wait.
have
The
her go
first
up.
female astronaut was a Russian.
First American female
Sally
astronaut.
Ride.
Yeah. She laughed her ass off when they asked her was 300 tampons enough for a 7-day mission.
The reason they were asking is because what they didn't say is the military already bought some and they can't get a return on it. Is the reason for that.
It's like,
Or the
we can't
fact
take
that-
this back to the manufacturer.
Or the fact this was back when NASA was staffed by the goodness here.
Hi. NASA is still staffed by.
Oh yeah, but now they have
Actually-
female nerds.
Actually, back in those days, a lot of the NASA people were women.
I know.
The programmers.
I know.
In those days, until like the 1980s, programming was seen as a female.
It was, yeah. I found that out
Because there was
recently
an
and I thought it
awful amount of
interesting.
typing involved.
I wrote a
Yeah.
program one time. It was on the Apple in 1986, and I made a cursor go when I executed. And my parents were like, "You're a genius," and I was like, "It
Speaking
came
of
out of the back of
executed-
321 Contact Magazine."
Speaking of executed, let's kill this film.
Oh.
We just saw Jupiter Ascending.
AKA Mila Kunis reacts to shit.
AKA, I paid £4. Okay, I paid my brother-in-law £4 because he bought the tickets, and I was amused.
What would that be in dollars? Like
£5.50? £6?
About $6 or $7, which is a lot cheaper than going to the movies. It's like 10 or 10 to
Well, that's
12.
because your movie tickets are fucking extortionate.
We don't have. Okay, they
And he
have.
serves pizza.
They have classist movie theaters. You have to pay more to be.
Oh, starts,
Actually,
no
the
spoilers.
other text is
Well,
more.
then at a certain point we'll be all like, okay, spoilers from now on, and then you can just say what you like. So at the start, just give your overall opinions without spoilers.
We also have Sir not appearing in this vlog, who's sitting next to me. Yeah, there's like the bit of his hand.
This is
Neil, you could sit in the kist.
that's Neil the sometimes minion.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we saw Jupiter Ascending, which I called Jupiter Rising like the whole entire day. So
I
Jupiter
called
going
it
up.
Space Twilight.
rising birds.
Space elevator.
Yeah.
Because there's an awful number of them in the film, like gravity lifts.
You know, it's gonna be so easy to do the inevitable gay Roman-themed porn version of this.
Stinger
Jupiter
and
Ascending.
Yeah.
Jupiter is
I'm
rising.
liking.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a big guy dressed as Zeus fucking a bunch of people turning into a swan because they're
No,
swans
because
and
Black
hybrids.
Swan. There you go, Mila Kunis.
Yeah,
It all
there you
works
go.
out.
Yeah, they took a black guy and they made him blacker.
They did. This is true.
They
There's a-
literally painted him black.
I thought he was a little bit more blue, to be honest.
Was he supposed, I mean, supposed
I
to
was
be a crow.
expecting early
That's
21st
Jim
century
Crow.
techno.
That's racist too.
To be truly honest,
looks like
I
Lucky
thought he had
Diamond
the
look.
worst
He was like the
fake
most tattooed
mustache.
guy in the
No, those are
world.
supposed to
Yeah.
be. This is supposed to be.
Yeah, I know
feathers.
they were supposed to be like little feathers, but I couldn't see that in the first scene in the alley. I thought it was just this ridiculously bad beard.
I'm not a
Yeah, they looked like they were painted.
this movie, it shows the future where all types of humans are, are coming together in unity by being furries.
This is basically Warhammer 40k Light.
No, that's Event Horizon.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
No. That's just warp travel. Normal warp travel. It's like, we have 1 million psychic people in there, or 1,000 psychic people fucking praying and screaming at once so that we don't die here. Whoops, we turned the shield off. Fuck. You know they call it a Geller field?
Because of your
That's the
yelling?
field that, yeah, literally that's the joke.
I got a reference.
The field that defends the spaceship in 40k as it goes through the warp is called the Geller
So they're
field.
concentrating on bending spoons, and it never works, so that's why they have to go like that. Because he's a fraud!
See, the Wachowskis don't have to worry about that. They get a little kid to do it the whole thing, the whole time. It's like, ah.
What? They've got the little kid.
No, the little kid that bends spoons.
Oh no!
Oh, always
This is a child. No.
Leave action train out of this.
Sue Pearson was hilarious. I
No,
loved
no,
it. Just
no.
that action.
Train children.
I made that joke.
How did they feed the kid?
Through a tiny little hole.
But he spent all day doing this.
He had another hand.
Okay.
The other hand was masturbating. We all
Straw. A fallen straw. Here,
Okay.
slop.
This film is basically, imagine the love child of David Lynch's Dune with the 1980s Flash Gordon if it was made today.
But the effects were very good.
Good point.
Thanks for, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, what isn't these days, you know?
Oh my god, he literally is the Birdman from the Flash Gordon. Gordon's alive! No, it's Jupiter's alive!
They literally come in giant flying fucking wing robot things.
And your woman had that bloody bike.
Yeah.
And you know, the woman in the film is absolutely useless, and then the guy, he's blonde, and I don't think Flash Gordon's part wolf, but in the original version, he rode a horse.
That's
Close
enough.
enough.
That's close enough. So, yeah.
That means one of the incest brother is Timothy Dalton.
Wait a second. I'm just thinking back to the film now, where she turns around and asks them, "Are you a vampire race?"
That was great.
And so are they a vampire race, but they've got a werewolf race? Nicola's right. The entire film's Team Jacob.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's like,
Yeah, there's this scene where Jupiter is awkwardly trying to flirt with Kane, who is like spliced with a wolf. He's part wolf. And I leaned over.
He's a lone wolf.
Oh yeah, they
Oh.
hammered that point in. Sean Bean, you could tell he was going, oh my god, I'm actually saying this.
Sean Bean is a bee, but his only bee powers are compound eyes.
And this kid had flickering.
That's all that happens. That's all that he does. Is he has
Whenever he was
compound
flying
eyes.
around, it was going into slow motion, like how bees see things.
yeah, I think
faster
that
than
was
us.
it. That's
So
why
we saw
he,
that a little bit when he was flying around.
and when he was,
There were too many bees in
when he
this
was fighting
movie.
Kane at the start, he seemed to move faster than Kane did.
That's
There was
your
like that
fault.
slow-mo shot. That's
Well,
because
I
his power
assumed that was because he
bees!
was a more experienced
Sean Bean!
There were too many
Dr.
bees in this movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
as I said, there's a section where they are lit. It is such forced
It is.
dialogue. It is so forced.
It's like, oh,
And I
straight
went
people.
over to Neil, the Invisible Minion here, and says, "This is totally cheap. She's Team Jacob," and he just giggled his arse off.
Twilight is the story of there's a woman and she doesn't know if she falls in love with this guy who's really long lived or this guy who is just hanging around all the time. But she chooses one of the guys, and then she has a child with the guy, and then the daughter of the person that she goes with ends up with the other guy. That's also Doctor Who season 6 with Matt Smith.
But, so anyway.
Well, to be fair, I think Jupiter was more effective than Bella.
Yeah.
She did actually manage to do one thing.
And she was actually more
Yeah,
effective
say
than
holy
Clara.
crap a lot. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is like the
Just
most
reacted.
extreme. Yeah, he was extreme.
Yes, but it was 12 rated, so she couldn't say fuck.
Yeah, this movie was quite literally past the parcel, and Jupiter was the parcel.
Yeah.
That is how
But
effective
the
she
special
was.
effects
You
were
could
good.
replace you with a
got-
table.
Let's see, how many times did she get kidnapped? 1,
This table
It's
has
my
inherited
mother.
Earth.
3, 4. She got kidnapped 5 times in this film!
Alan said 7.
No, that was how many times she got saved.
Oh, she had saved, okay.
She got saved 7 times.
We need like the Spoonie kidnapping count from his Final Fantasy reviews.
Yeah.
I want someone to take Anita Sarkeesian's Damsels video in Feminist Frequency and just replace it with clips of this and just edit her dialogue together so it's just about this.
I just realised something. At one point,
Why
she
don't you
gets.
just tweet her and ask?
Like, I could do this myself, probably.
Do not get involved with those
Please
people.
don't.
I don't want to because
I just realised something. She was kidnapped whilst in the process of being kidnapped
That's a double kidnapping.
in the cornfield.
Kidnapception.
Honey, my
That's
point
a hat
is, this
trick.
is the damsel trope she was talking about, writ large. The
Yeah.
entire thing.
Yeah. It's like, they give her a gun at one point. It's like, why didn't you just cybernetically give her a Gatling gun or something, you know? Why not stick a transponder on her? Just in
Yeah,
case.
Why does
everybody
her
else has
cousin
like
look like-
amazing bleep. Like,
Why does her cousin look just like Aidan Gillen? What's going on there?
I liked her family. Okay, so sorry, we had this. Basically, you have this girl, and she's half Russian and all sorts of shit. But so she has this big, huge Russian family, which is basically like the Russian version of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and they're great. They only have a few scenes, but they fucking steal the scenes. Like, there's a part where basically every man in the family beats the one cousin with a pillow while screaming, "Don't treat your cousin like a chicken. Don't sell her eggs."
He convinced Jupiter to try and sell their eggs so they could get about 15 grand.
Yeah.
He.
Seemed to make
I
sense.
also want to know.
She should get all the
why
money
the
though.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did she settle for 5 grand?
I don't
They
know.
pointed out they were getting 15 grand for this. The male cousin, who had nothing to do with this other than convince her to do it, gets 10 grand.
Yeah, he never
She
said
gets
why
5.
exactly that
And
was.
the only explanation is shit rolls downhill.
He's Aidan Gillen.
Well,
Little finger. If
shit-
she doesn't do it, he's gonna manipulate shit.
The
Yeah.
entire film is a whole capitalism diatribe.
Yeah, no, but
throughout.
this was the only explanation as to why he gets
Making
more.
abundantly clear.
Was shit rolls
Profits
downhill,
bad.
profits
Why is
go
she
up.
going with it though?
Well, only
Because she
explanation
wanted
that
the
I
more-
can
she
come
wanted
up
the money
with,
to get
and
the
this is
telescope.
shitty, but it is like some super sadistic looking backdoor fucking clinic, so I have to assume they've got a really high finder's fee.
Well, they weren't super sadistic until the aliens came. They were just regular, like a regular fertility clinic.
Yeah,
before
when they
that.
went all A-Lamau on us.
Yeah.
Greys, literal greys.
Spoilers.
We're talking X-Files
Yeah,
greys.
we've gotten the spoilers.
I mean, we're not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Yeah, actually, before we go full on spoilers,
Is this even possible?
give a very quick view of what you think of what you thought of the film overall. Did I put that on the DVD cover? What do you think, honey?
The special effects are very good, and I would like to read more novels in this universe, but it was silly.
Half decent
I was
world
entertained.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half decent world building. Action scenes are alright, but you never feel any threat for the characters at all.
No.
You know it's all going to turn out alright at the end, so what's the bloody point?
Oh, you know, I would have watched a movie or a TV show about the Adventures of the Ages and their crew doing stuff.
Or the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
The bounty hunters
Hey,
are cool.
I
The girl
want to
bounty
know
hunter
the
looked like
backstory
Newell from
behind the
Gorillas.
Raptordactyls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raptordactyl dudes. The Dragon King guys.
This is what I
Dragons.
call these guys. I call them the Raptordactyls. It's the big lizard guys
The
with
Dragon
wings.
Gargoyles.
Yeah, they literally look like Dragonkin, but I prefer the name Raptordactyls.
See, their outfit with the massive shoulders and all, I couldn't help but see Super Mario Brothers Goombas
Oh, no.
all the time when they're walking
Yeah.
about. They're like,
They wear these like big, huge leather jackets,
This film's zany and ridiculous.
yeah.
but played seriously. Played seriously, except for some parts where
Except
it's
for Eddie Redmayne, who's like, I'm Green Life! I'm
Oh,
Green
God.
I love
Life!
that
basically,
shite.
it's basically if you ever wanted to see a ballerina beat the shit out of Stephen Hawking, you have what you want when you watch this movie.
Finally.
Because, like, that's all I could think about because she played the ballerina in Black Swan and he just came off, you know, being. It just was kind of.
I think I'm
Wow.
going to see a ballerina who's pretty loose on reality as we watch this and be all like,
Right.
I could do better than that, and she's going to find Stephen Hawking, beat the shit out of him, record him herself, happy slapping Stephen Hawking, put out online saying, see, you can see it for real now!
What are you doing? Why is this happening? That's my Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, so she like
Oh.
transfer
Oh.
her personality, identity issues onto him. Because like first, I hate you, but I love you. I hate you, but I love you. I stopped taking this guy seriously in one of his first scenes where you actually get to see him when he says, "No one understands me."
That's what I'm saying. It's Space Cinderella. She's like Disney princess. Where were the songs?
He was like
Where were the
space.
songs filmed?
He was like Space Norman Bates, though.
Do you see after we made the joke of Space Beauty and the Beast, the score
Yes.
really started to sound like the fight at the castle?
And then he was like Beauty and her Beast.
That's one of my complaints about the film. The soundtrack did not feel like it fit. Like whenever they were in the first aerial fight in the city, I was like, this score isn't fitting what I'm seeing.
I expect this like the Sephiroth music.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like the entire time. It sounded like really bad background video game orchestra. It's like, no, this should have a pumping piece of music.
Young people with hair getting together to kill God.
Every JRPG ever.
Yeah,
All the
this is-
software here writing right now going perfect.
This is a live-action Final Fantasy game.
It
It's
kind of
never been
is,
made.
yeah.
Like one of the sci-fi Final Fantasy games. It's got the
Yeah,
ridiculous little technology
it's got
that you have. in
it's got the
characters.
swill and drink green trope. It's got a huge multinational, multi-galaxy
Ridiculous
thing,
characters.
you know, that's going
Insane
to
weapons.
destroy the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one member who is literally not human. The Raptidactyls.
To be honest, I think the Wachowskis have finally made that anime movie they were trying to make, complete with all the bad parts of the bad anime they were trying to emulate.
What did you think, G?
She just wants to
No
be
cat
the
people, 1 out of 10. Fair, no cat people. Rat people, dog people.
That's a good
There's
point.
enough space
Owl
incest in this.
people.
Have you seen the 1980s Paul Schrader's Cat People?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
no,
lot
that-
of incest in
yeah,
that.
Pick Me
And have you
Elephant
seen
never got
Sleepwalkers?
That was pretty cool.
Yes.
Every single movie with cat people has incest. It's a rule.
Oh, and
We've
the
already got incest.
the voice
That's
actor
like
of
the-
Dorian from Dragon Inquisition had a
Yeah.
speaking part, and dude's handsome. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I had no idea it was going to appear, and I was like, holy shit, it's Ramon Tickeram! And then I was, that's it, Dorian. And then his second he spoke, I was like, looked over at Omega, and I was like, oh. And she was like, it is him! And I was like,
And he's like, welcome to our world. I was like, it is called the winter.
Ramon Tickeram is so awesome, and his voice is so clipped and all, and he's just so
White
bad.
cat now.
He's officially replaced Alexander Siddig as my choice for the next Doctor. Plus, he's even darker than Alexander Siddig, so it'll annoy racists even more.
But, yeah, so...
2 cats!
Got to see Sean Bean being old and not dying for once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something very wrong there.
1 out of 10, Sean B did not die.
Apparently, Sean Bean, according to an interview, he is number 3 in the all-time list of actors who have died most on screen, behind Bela Lugosi and John Hurt.
Nice.
John Hurt does die a lot.
There's something I have to say about this film. There are less costume changes in an Elton John concert. I swear to fuck, every other scene she is in a different outfit. She goes from elaborate dress to pantsuit, elaborate dress to suit and to
Space
President Day
undies.
again. She goes to elaborate dress and then she goes back to military typist gear. It's like, pick a fucking outfit.
I had a problem with the space tank tops. They didn't seem to be made out of one material. They seemed like to be weirdly patchworked, and I didn't get that.
Well,
the
to
space
be
suit as
fair-
well had the same thing. These weird little patchworks.
To be
all
fair,
over the-
Karen
polyester.
Gillan was space patchwork in Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
that was
know
her
that.
face.
Neil, do you want to mention the one thing you took exception to?
They decide that it's a woman's car, right? And it's like, there's a tampon in there, or whatever.
No,
Well, you thought it was a nappy first off, and I was
I'm
like,
dumb.
Neil,
I
that's
am
not-
dumb. Neil is dumb, and Neil will admit to being dumb on the internet.
It's fine. No, it's fine because I didn't see it, and I thought she said, "Oh, there's a woman's because there are napkins in the glove compartment." Because my mom always kept napkins in the glove compartment, and then I was like, "Ah, it's a pad." It's funny because it's a pad.
At which point you're like, that's a pretty big assumption to make there. What if the guy kept them there? What if he's married?
Yeah, that's true.
What if they share the car?
Well, yeah, see, here's the thing. Even if you're married, you don't allow your husband to handle your feminine hygiene products because inherently males will fuck with them.
We would.
You'd be like, what is this? What can I stick it to?
Straight white man admitting,
You do
yes,
that,
we
and
would.
then the next minute you got toxic shock syndrome.
That's not how that works.
That's what time
I'm joking.
I know.
There were really weird offhand jokes from angles. You'll giggle a couple of times in the film at least.
Yeah, like when the spaceship takes off from the cornfield and leaves a crop circle, and I was like, that's a nice touch.
When the grey aliens are running through the crops and sitting there going, I've seen this movie before.
Nil. The Graylians.
The grey aliens.
Mhm.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's new movie, Jupiter Ascending, with a question mark at the end.
Because what will really happen at the end?
I wish her surname was Moon.
So wait, if she gets with Kane,
Because
will they
there's
have
a
like
character-
quitter puppy babies? I mean, like,
Her name, Jupiter Jones. And she's like,
Yeah.
everybody call me Jupe. And it's like, why are they not calling me JJ?
ooh, that's good, yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be much better.
In the
Shorthand.
1980s cartoon, there was a
Jupiter
character.
Jones sounds like a poor name, man.
Was it Telly Bugs? 1980s cartoon. There was a character called Jupiter Moon, and I'm like, oh, it's Jupiter Moon.
Nobody gets your strange British jokes except you.
It's not even a joke. It's just me remembering something that's really obscure from the
Well,
80s.
whatever. You can't
You
see
choose
this.
now
There's a
to
cat
play with the
playing.
noisy toy.
They-
You ignore that thing constantly until we're on bloody camera.
Yes, well,
And you're right about the Warhammers as well. Like, they fire out all of these like interceptor drones at a spaceship, but a single interceptor drone seems to have a gun. They just like, they make a big
They make a
blockade out of
mesh.
No,
flying board
they're like a
qubits.
screensaver. That's what I kept thinking. Like, that'd make a great screensaver.
Oh my god, you're right! It looked like. See, when they were being launched with the ships, I instantly had the little space invader thing.
Well, you know, I thought that it was going to be like the things from Guardians of the Galaxy. They were going to like close
Yeah.
things and make a
And make an
a
energy shield.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, they were physical shields.
They were just literally little
Oh,
blocks.
you notice the woman with the really tall ears?
Yeah.
It was Gugu Mbatha Raw, aka one of the main cast of Bone Kickers.
Did she? Did,
Oh
did,
my
Did she
god!
pronounce Whitaker right? If you get that, you're.
This is the one, the younger woman in it, who was revealed to be Magwell's half sister. You know, it's not like they had, you know, Hugh Bonneville being drunk in it, or they had, you know, crazy, you know, Jill.
No, if
Julie
they had
Graham,
Hugh Bonneville and this being drunk, that would be great.
or Adrian Lester, you know, not quite working out that you're supposed to act.
This guy just stumbling down the corridor, and the Earl of Grantham's like, well, how did I get here?
You know, out of all the ones in Bone Kickers, you have the one with the least character. Because, you know, Adrian Lester has no character as well, but at least he doesn't know how to act, so it's just like, it's funny. But with her, she's just like, oh, you're okay at acting, and you're just there. It's just boring. I wanted Hugh Bonneville deer would have been funnier, or possibly if Julie Graham was a deer and she was like, you know, being
Wait a minute,
had
so
a weapon
wait,
shoved
no,
in
no,
her.
that was the girl who was half deer?
The girl who was
I
half deer.
thought she was supposed to be a mouse.
No, half a tall
giant
ears.
ears.
The ears, yeah, I thought she was supposed to be a mouse.
She's, I
She should have had little fawn markings on her.
possibly.
That
But
would
imagine
be
if Julie Graham was her, and then like, you know, someone killed her mother on screen, and then she went nuts and started eating like the walls. Because, you know, Magwild, she would do that totally,
So
but she hated her mother.
Jupiter Rising. Ascending.
I don't get how the zero G sex worked. Like,
They might have been
I think it
holograms.
was literally just fondling. But there
it's
was
like
no.
12A. We wanted a zero G sex scene, but it was a 12A, so
Maybe it has more sex in America. Maybe it's a different cut here. No, I'm really serious. You should
No,
like,
I'm
let's
pretty
tweet
sure
at Lindsay
here
and
would be
find
the
out.
dirtier version.
Uh,
But there was a bee and a butterfly woman in there, and they were the only ones who drew my attention. I couldn't look at the others. There might have been a cat one there.
yeah.
No, it reminded me of that part in the original Vampire Hunter D, where they're all like all the vampire sexers like, ah. Okay,
Right. Did you notice the giant fish spaceship? Which I
Yeah.
assume is full of fish people. And the spaceship was flown by the Elephant Man, who was literally an Elephant Man.
Yeah. They should have let John Hurt play him.
she was like, Nash, get us out of here. Like, oh, I'm not an animal.
And what was with the Sims giving each other stick? You know, in the bureaucracy.
Well, they were the same model, so it was like, how embarrassing. It's like you're appearing in the same outfit as someone
I was
else.
expecting, it's like one of us has to go home and change our face. Also, they weren't sealed, the robots. That
Because
kind of
otherwise it'd be like Alan Tudyk and iRobot, and they don't want to get sued. So it's like having a face a little bit forward and having the fake face be obviously projected, it avoided a lawsuit.
It looked like the creepy woman in AI.
Oh no,
You know, the one that turns sideways and he's got like no back to her face, and you're like, run, Anakin Skywalker! But it's not, it's a kid from Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
It's
He's in Tusk.
Is he?
Yeah, he's all fat and has a neck beard.
Well, there you go.
Tusk was a deeply strange film.
Is it better than this?
It's Human Centipede with walrus.
Yeah.
The thing that you're forgetting is that we really paid £4 to be entertained, and I was entertained.
I just laughed at this film because I thought it was hilarious.
So I was worth £4.
If you see it with a group of friends with a good sense of humour, you can sit and kind of half rip the piss out of it.
Yeah, like,
Nice and quietly at the back of the cinema, making your side jokes like whether or not Channing Tatum was a nut. But if you don't have a sense of humour, you're gonna walk into the film and you're gonna rate it as a terrible
So-
movie because it's so dumb.
someone needs to supercut his action scenes into Foxcatcher.
Space
Someone do
Foxcatcher.
it. Someone do it, please.
I went to Space Rollerblades.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what's real tragedy?
What?
Channing Tatum's character in this has more in common with the G.I. Joe character he played in the G.I. Joe films than his character in the version of the G.I. Joe films that he played.
Yes.
Because at least with this one he has ridiculous, instruments and equipment and things.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of like Space MacGyver, a little teeny bit.
Let's see, what else was there?
There were
What
too
was
many.
the flip kicks, back flip kicks all day. It's like, I'm gonna beat this bad guy by back flip kicking him.
Because they paid for the wire work, and god damn it, they were
They
going
were
to get
gonna
their
use
money's
the
worth,
wire.
alright?
I don't know, I figure he might be able to do weird front flips.
That's true. Yeah, the gravity of his gravity boots were never really like
Defined.
expanded on. Yeah.
The only definition they really gave was down is easy, up is hard.
If up is hard, how can you use it like 2,500 feet in the air? And that seems to be so simple and Mina
Well,
Kunis can.
technically we never seen him go up. He was always kind of going...
So maybe it's like
They
maintaining
were like
orbit,
ice
you know?
skates. That's
Yeah.
what they. That's what they felt like.
Neil, when was the last time you saw gravity or rocket boots in a film? I'm gonna hazard a guess at Star Trek V.
Last time I saw gravity boots in or rocket boots in a movie, Super Mario Brothers.
Okay, as well. Okay, the other one, Star Trek V.
Yes,
These films don't make sense. If you got rocket boots, the rest of the film automatically collapses.
it's true. Star Trek V automatically collapsed.
You see?
The Mario Brothers movie was Bob Hoskins' worst movie, and he admitted that himself. With the worst thing he'd done in his life, and if he could change anything in his life, what would he do? He wouldn't do the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I believe him and John Leguizamo were friends, though.
Yeah,
I know they got like.
they seem broy enough.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, John Leguizamo.
What else did we laugh about this film?
Well, the thing is that one of the things that made me like a little bit sad inside was that when I was in high school, I started in middle school, but it expanded to a few years after high school. I was working on a space opera kind of aliens and things like that. Back in the day, in the 90s. And I did have, like, you know, one of the armies had these things. They were basically grav boots, but they worked in conjunction with a repulsor pad because I'd read that one Star Wars novel where they go to the planet with repulsor technology. So you could do stuff like that. And they had like all these like different arm controls and stuff, and they had xenon pulse cannons and all this really great stuff, and they were using it. I was like, I really wish I'd written about that 15 years ago. Maybe I'd be a Wachowski person. But
Oh, let's talk
I don't know
about...
that's how it works.
of course, that's how it works.
Let's talk about reincarnation space incest.
Oh. Does it count?
Essentially,
Open the floor?
If you have an opinion, write it down.
essentially, she was born with the same randomized genetic code as the mother of these.
And why did it
Space
take them like so
imperialists.
many years to realize that?
This film doesn't understand
There's
how
a lot
genetic
of
works.
people in the world.
It doesn't understand. But they would
Because
say
she was off the grid by being an illegal alien.
Oh, that's right.
She had never had her
Yeah.
genetics tested by the creepy grey alien men. So when the creepy grey alien men tested her genetics to see, do we want to steal the eggs of this one? Because we're assuming that the creepy off-world people were buying the eggs. That's why so much money was involved.
Yeah,
So-
but why? But
So
why
then they
do
like tested that and they went, let's see if we've got this DNA on
no,
file.
they were
She's
already,
queen.
They
They
were already
did
looking
there.
for her
They were
though.
looking for her at that point.
Oh.
They had remember
that
they
makes
grabbed
sense.
her boss trying to find out if she was the one. They knew they were looking for that woman. They didn't know
Mm.
who she was though.
Yeah. See, and it, like, there's this one
So
scene
there's a
where
plot hole
she gives a the fertility clinic. She gives a false name, which is the name of one of her employers that she's kind of close with, one of the rich people she cleans for. And so there she was like, oh my gosh, you need to help me like decide which thing. I need your advice. Oh my gosh, my boyfriend might propose to me. And she's like, well. And then the aliens show up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I see how this is gonna go. They're actually looking for the blonde girl, and they're gonna kidnap her by mistake, or they're gonna get them
His
both.
name's Sarah
And it's gonna be
Connor.
like kind of like a buddy cop movie, except for girls in space, and that didn't happen.
It was just one of those little threads that went.
So yeah, they genetically tested the boss, and then they wiped her, Mila Kunis' mind, but they didn't bother going all like, oh, let's genetic test her just in case. It would take 2 seconds. They were like, no, we're just gonna wipe her memory and leave her there.
Contrary to popular belief, these weird grey keeper alien dudes aren't that intelligent. I mean, look at it, they're going "Woo-woo-woo-woo-woo," and like jumping around, making weird potty noises from Power Rangers, jumping around and
Oh
then
my
getting
god,
shot.
that's what they are!
Yeah, they're just putties.
Oh my god,
They're
without
not that great.
without trousers.
Somebody thinking, that's it, we're no longer outsourcing our carekeeping to Rita Repulsive.
Why didn't they?
After
Why didn't
15
you
minutes,
turn
I'm finally free.
giant
Yeah, so now
mercenaries?
manage your goddamn putties.
So these guys, okay, she's a reincarnation technically, even though they
Of
don't
like the
understand how genetics
Empress
works.
of the universe or something.
And one of the kids wants to marry her and possibly have sex with her
Matriarch of the
corpse.
dynasty.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
so
wait,
space
then
incest.
who was in charge of the universe then? If she was just the reborn head.
The great space bureaucracy that we saw.
Okay.
There's a government and it's stupid.
There's probably a space
I
parliament
like
or
the
space
one
government.
from
Probably
the
a space
Foundation.
king.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
essentially.
what it made me think of? The Central World.
Space
It made me
book.
think of the head planet of the Intergalactic Empire in the Foundation novels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Read them if you haven't.
Yeah. Point is, she is the reincarnation of this space queen who had 3 children. Now, at several points in the film, each of these 3 children has kidnapped plot point A, Jupiter.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. Parcel A. Seriously. she was full of
Although the girl wasn't that bad.
Let's see. The woman lied and manipulated her. Didn't tell her the whole. She was literally
Yeah.
there for exposition. That is all
Yeah,
she did.
she
Yeah.
lied by omission, but she didn't seem to have malice of intent. Because she wasn't saying, oh, you have to give me all your lands and holdings. She was basically saying, you're royalty.
Yeah.
Own it.
She only helped her because it damaged her brother's business.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
The younger brother,
The sex guy.
he lied to her and played on her humanity to get her to marry him.
Why are you making that face?
What's this?
Dynasty, dead, and then you have the three ones who are after it, and there's all like harvesting of organs and stuff. Repo genetic opera.
We made this joke.
Yes.
When?
We made
When
it on
we were
this.
crossing right next to the
I didn't
tower.
hear that.
And you said something. I said, "Honey, she's infected by her genetics." And Nicole was like, "No, I was about to say
that was
it. You
what that was a
said it
reference to,
first."
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar, very, 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 very obsessively familiar with Repo. Plus, the Infected with
Awesome.
Genetics was one of the bad songs. That was 16 or whatever. It's called.
I'm infected
Yeah, see, that's a bad song.
by your genetics.
If you'd made a joke about Legal Assassin, I would have got it. Which,
I
that
used
was
to have that as
Sean
my
Bean.
ringtone for a while.
The youngest son lied and manipulated her and played on humanity by basically going, youth potion is people! I wants to stop this and I needs your helps.
My name is Titus, and I totally want to go, ah, ha, 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 ha.
I'm not Sephiroth.
Yeah, he's such a smug little bastard
Right.
too. I
Kind
knew
of.
from the instant we
It-
seen him he was only out for
I
himself.
always pronounced it Titus.
So what
No
was
one has ever given us a correct pronunciation of that name. If you have the correct pronunciation of the name, send it on a postcard to my ass.
to Linkara at the top of the wall.
Don't do that for real. It's an old joke. I just don't actually email Lewis because he'll get
That
upset.
did happen once. Someone, I think it was Doug.
No, it was
So-
Goonie.
Or Spinning
Yes.
put a real email, Linkar's real email, and there was a problem, and it ended up getting somehow rerouted to his dad.
No. The thing was, it
Or
was
family
his
member?
email, but his family had a server that just handled all the family's email, and
Smart.
it crashed the server.
That was it.
The number of emails sent in.
Which,
Don't email Lewis.
his
He's not
youngest son wanted to marry her, the reincarnation of his mother, so he would get inheritance of the Earth, which is apparently the most profitable planet in their little.
I'm not sure why
Empire.
it is, but
Probably because it has the most people and it's.
And
if
it
it
has-
wiped out the planet of
Yeah,
Fangare or
they said they had particularly hardy breeding stock.
Yeah.
It was a fine stock, so I have to assume then the other planets are less hospitable to life, so they just didn't end up as plump as fat as we are.
Well, no, like what they do
I blame
is
America.
they go around. They said they go around and there were creatures living here, the dinosaurs that they wiped out, so that they could seed the primate population with human DNA to make evolution happen. To basically rewrite the primate code into becoming human DNA.
Oh yeah, humans aren't native to Earth.
Yeah, they came from this other planet. But basically, that's what they do, and then
Oris.
millennia later, they come back. And yes, I just made up a word. Come back and then harvest the whole population to turn them into goo. Life goo
we've already done this to the planet of Fangare architecture.
Do you know what it is?
with blue
It's
hair.
Bacta from Star Wars. You know the goo that they use to heal people?
Yeah, but
Comes in a blue tube.
But that's made of it's made of nanotechnology, so no.
I'm running with Bacta made out of people.
Oh yeah, they have the,
Soil and blue.
Yeah.
they have the first aid spray from Resident Evil. It's literally wind gone.
Would be gone.
I found a med pack.
And it's better than the Resident Evil characters grinding up herbs and getting high. They're not wounded at all. Or they're still horrifyingly wounded, but the rest
I
of the
want the
story
herb.
happens
Just-
in their
just
head.
give it
Zombies
to
are
me.
less frightening when you're high.
Let's see. So, nobody in this entire film was ever not trying to manipulate Jupiter or not lying to her.
Mhm.
Her mom.
True, but did she actually really have any real interaction with her mother apart from Jupiter, get up?
Make the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I've been married to
Technically, it passed the
Zara long
Bechdel
enough
test.
that whenever someone says
What's
something,
that?
I have to contradict them.
Two women having conversations together, and the subject matter is not a man.
True.
So technically, it passed that.
Yeah.
Cain was pretty upfront. I'm going to deliver you to Titus. And then he tried to deliver to Titus and then failed at doing that.
Then I changed
And
my
then-
mind.
Then when they got to Titus, it's like, there you go, but you don't want her anymore.
Yeah, but I'm starting to think that he doesn't really have a mind of his own, because like he was a wolf
Wolfman.
without a pack and he went slightly insane.
Yeah.
He had
Wolfman with the power of
Also,
wolf.
he was a wolfman without a pack who lost his wings.
Yeah, at the end, so apparently, like, there's this thing called the Legion, and they have things called Skyjackers, a whole bunch of stuff. So he has anti-grav boots, and
Space
apparently they had wings at one point. Him and Sean Bean got court-martialed for tearing someone's throat out, which was never really specialized upon. But so they got their wings cut off, and at the end, he's on top of like some huge, and actually they're on this tower.
They're on the same building
the
that they
Willis
dug
Tower.
their little
Yeah.
top out of.
It's the tallest tower in
In-
North America. It used to be the tallest until the Burj Dubai.
But the thing that I noticed coming from working in telecom is there's a huge rig on there. There's got to be fucking every carrier, Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, Cricket, everybody. You had huge RF antennas. You had WiMAX broadcasting. You had omnidirectional antennas. Where they were standing was in the RF field. You're not supposed to be in the RF field for longer than about 20 minutes without an RF suit because it's really dangerous and you can kind of like get burned
Space
that way.
radiation.
No, for real radiation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
that's-
radiation in space.
that's
A
what
lot
I
of
was
it's
thinking.
dangerous.
But so he's like, don't worry, and he like takes off his trench coat and he has freaking huge like black angel wings. So he's a
Kind of
half
metallic
wolf.
though, like the actual
Like,
bone
well, they're
part
like
of the end of the
cybernetic.
wing.
Yeah,
Yes. kind of thing.
cybernetic. I'm
And I
sorry.
leaned over and I said, oh my god, this is so many different fan fictions like all together. It's like a great herd of nerds cried out at once, this is my OC, and at once were silenced.
Yeah, literally, there's no characterization beyond Kane, as in, he is lone wolf, he is wounded soldier, he has been disgraced and needs help to redeem himself.
Look at him abs.
Yeah, look at him abs. Half the film he is shirtless for no reason.
He
Sean
also
Weathers are
sacrificed
better.
his job in order to save, in order to like not damn Sean Bean as well. Remember, he's like he had to lie. Right. So we have a massive super bureaucracy. Humans are like the dominant part of the space empire. Their military force is referred to as a legion.
We don't actually know if there are aliens.
Yeah, they could
Right.
be aliens.
No, they were
They were
genetically engineered.
he said that they were
Yeah.
genetically engineered.
Yeah. So
The only thing we don't know for sure that were possibly genetically engineered was the raptordactyls. They're the only thing that are possibly alien because they are too different.
fish people spaceship. It's quite
It's
possible.
just a ship, but it's people.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that was
Creepy
a lot.
fish head people.
Wait,
are
Like, I'm pretty
was
sure
Terry
that
Gilliam an alien or
I-
a human?
open to debate.
he
Yeah,
was a
He was
gnome.
cybernetically
He was
enhanced.
a gnome.
Space no.
But the space fish ship, when we saw it in that panning shot, I keep wanting to say I've seen that. I think that's an homage to an anime. I keep wanting to say I've seen that before
A
animated.
giant flying fish-shaped spaceship.
Yes,
I feel the same, but I
yes.
don't know where I've seen it.
and I want to say it was in one of those. It might have been in something Korean
What I'm saying
or
is,
something Chinese, but I don't think it was Japanese anime.
genetically engineered super soldiers with cybernetic implants called the Legion. You're right in saying it's 40k. They have a massive super
But it's
space
12
bureaucracy
rated,
that nobody can get through. They have a religious attachment to the genetics. You know, this gene. Yeah, this is the sacred gene form, and it shall not be edited unless we say so. You've got ratlings. You've got stupid ogrins. You've got everything. Seriously, the Wachowskis are like, I want to paint plastic models.
Yeah, the Spy Master.
I don't know what
is
you're talking about
literally
because I
a
don't
rat.
play that game or read the books.
I literally groaned and rolled my eyes when I seen this guy and found out he was the Spy Master. He's a fucking rat.
Well, to be fair, the villain
What
was
else
like
you gonna do
Voldemort.
if
You
you're a
got
rat?
Wormtail.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Clean
Like-
sewers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right!
What?
Voldemort and Wormtail.
Yep.
Mm.
I'm a genius.
Right. The Spy Master's a rat. It
And
seems
they were
everybody's...
humanity. They were talking about how life is consumption, so they were in fact Death Eaters.
Oh.
Well, aren't they more life eaters?
This is going to a place that's no good.
By that logic, it could be more Dementors.
This film going to somewhere that was no good.
Yeah, pretty much.
The truth drove people mad. Dementor.
Oh, but there was one good part
Yeah,
of it,
Sonic,
and it
that's
was this,
no
the
good.
space cop ship, the Aegis, and
It looked cool.
It's
like
the Mass Effect ship.
it was really
Yeah.
great. And I seriously would have watched an entire TV show or miniseries just about that crew and their adventures.
Oh yeah, there's one thing, there's inconsistency between scenes. This annoyed the absolute hell out of me and it infuriated Teddy. She was kidnapped by the younger son. Whenever they got her out of there after the whole I'm gonna marry you, murder you and take the earth, the captain of the ship they were on basically says, we reported him to the authorities.
Who apparently are not.
Which is-
Apparently there's somebody
So apparently he's been reported to the law. Her family is then kidnapped by raptordactyls,
Like her human Russian family on Earth.
and
Russian American family.
and his little
I don't
rat.
think they ever got citizenship. I think they're just Russian illegal aliens.
I think the cousins are, but anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rat and a raptordactyl stays behind to deliver a message going, yeah, we totally kidnapped your family and we're going to kill them right in front of the cop! Right in front of Space Cop! And apparently they are powerless to do anything.
Well, the way that I thought about that was a kind of
The
like
problem
thing
is the
that.
space cop probably don't care. The space cops probably legally don't care about regular people from the planet Earth.
Well, no,
Probably,
or
yeah.
that. But here's the thing.
They kid flattening
The people on
royalty.
planet Earth are property, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, though.
Wait,
Maybe
does that mean you can kidnap your own property?
No, you can't.
no, because he didn't have
Do
claim to
whatever
the
you like
planet.
with it.
She did when she accepted her title. But here's the thing that I was thinking
They were
about.
stealing them! That's theft!
This is going again to a place it's noted. But no, here's a really good reason why. Because I was wondering about this. She's like, we're the space police, and he's like, what you gonna do? Because apparently, like, I'm thinking that the bureaucracy and the authorities are so sick of the powerful nobles infighting with each other that at a certain point they'll just be like, you know what, whatever.
That's
We're
not-
not. We're only getting
Oh God,
involved.
it's Bieber and the law.
Well, no, it's like we're only getting involved if this escalates to a certain point.
Yeah.
Honey, this is the Elysian game.
Yes, I was thinking about that.
It's rich and powerful people arsing each other over. It's like, hey, my pay packet doesn't cover that.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, why get involved in some noble squabble, unless serious shit is about to go down.
Well, she practically then nearly sacrifices her ship to hell.
Yeah, because I imagine that she's so
It became
peacock
an evacuation.
who really cares.
I think they came up with their probable cause, reason for going in. Remember when the portal opened again
Yes.
and the ships were evacuated?
And
It was
she's like, it's
this
an
is
evacuation.
evacuation. Yeah, so they had to have a probable cause.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Actually, this is actually really nice. This is something I actually thought of. This is the first time we see a bad guy's base explode, and we see all the employees and henchmen actually leaving and fleeing.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, they don't get Death Starred.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the middle of building the Death Star. Oh, whoops, the rebels have killed us all. Rebels are genocide.
Fuck this, my lord. I work for your company, not you.
It's like literally you just see all the babies going,
like
fuck
oh,
this.
His secret
Use
base
my
was
severance
inside
package
the eye
to my
of Jupiter.
reincarnated self.
Yeah, his secret base was inside the eye of Jupiter. So basically, haha, Jupiter.
Let's build our refining space station for these for human goo stuff, right? Which probably has nuclear reactors at least.
Probably harvest the hydrogen 3 from Jupiter
Helium
itself.
3. That's the
Helium
thing.
3 even?
Helium 3. That can be used to make nuclear rocket fuel. It's
I
like,
don't see
what
why
if,
it had to-
what if somebody just gets a lighter? Now I know it doesn't work like this, but it just goes space lighter, future lighter, and goes. It's like the whole planet goes up. It's like, oh no.
Neil
The
will-
grey aliens have to
We're
like
like looking
fix
through Hubble.
Jupiter.
Wow, Jupiter's mighty bright today.
Neil will take a 7-year journey to spacewalk under Jupiter with a lighter.
See, that's actually that happened in like 2010 or something when Jupiter became the second sun. In Arthur C. Clarke's thing.
All
Yes.
right. I was about to say I missed that.
Actually,
Yeah, somehow. I think I was busy that
I was talking about a book.
week. I didn't have
side
it.
point, if you missed it last week, you could actually physically see Jupiter. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you just need to look at the moon and there was a bright light to the left of it, top left.
It was her butt.
That was Jupiter.
I think we spotted that. If we didn't, at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
she fell out of spacecraft. She's now re-entering. But Mila Kunis, her eyes are so big.
That
How did that
photograph.
happen?
She's like the girl in Singing
know.
Dance, but she can act.
I'm like, how did your eyes get so big? Is it a sickness? Was it like the Marty Feldman thing? I mean, just.
Before the movie, there was a phone ad for this HTC phone, was it?
Yeah.
And the phone makes re-entry. And it's not for a camera. Why do you have to have the phone making re-entry? I don't understand
That
that.
wasn't Carol's for the actual phone itself.
Yeah, but I was annoyed because like this phone doesn't make re-entry. When I drop it in space, I'll be held to pay. It's like that's a false advertising. My phone did not survive re-entry.
This does not violate your statutory rights. Everything.
Warranty void if dropped out of
Yeah,
spaceship.
every
Yeah, but
commercial
here
in
they
the UK
expect
says
us-
that, and I've never figured out what my statutory rights are, but apparently they will not be violated if I make a return.
This is something that whenever they make advertisements over here, they assume you're going to take it with a pinch of salt. They know the audience is not dumb enough to try and drive their car off the side of a building.
Hey,
Well, I saw one advert today where it was like does not apply outside of British mainland. So Northern Ireland, whatever they were advertising, Northern Ireland
It's
didn't
probably
get it.
insurance.
Usually insurance or something
It's
that requires
insurance.
to be
No,
shipped.
it was
Supermarket
the
or
bank.
something
It was the bank
I
thing.
like to.
The bank that will be nice to you and not make you play
Those
musical
Irish
chairs.
ones are going to whip you.
Fun fact: Northern
don't
Ireland
have
is
branches
sometimes
here.
treated as a tiny little island off in the middle of the Atlantic because we have to pay more for shipping, and certain insurance agents won't apply to us because we're technically off the mainland.
Even Amazon UK, it says ships from within the UK. Shipping in 1 to 2 business days, 4 to 5 in Northern Ireland. And I'm like, but the whole
We're
entire
20 miles away.
we're like this smaller than the state of Texas.
It also counts as offshore shipping, so that's an extra $5.
Aye. The insurance thing is because we're liable to blow it up. It's
Hey,
like, we
hey,
can insure
hey,
your
hey.
building, but I don't know
Hey,
who you're aligned to.
we have gone a whole week without a car bomb.
That's credit to Derry.
Technically, it was Belfast. Still.
You know, there's a poster in the break room at my shop telling you, only you can help us be aware of incendiary devices. If you see something suspicious, tell someone. We don't have that in America. I have to let you know.
I thought you were afraid for freedom. If you see someone violating the freedom,
Well,
please inform the police so they can be shot before anybody can.
If you see somebody violating your freedom, please remove your concealed carry weapons and take care of it.
the week before last, we had a exceptionally close lightning bolt. It literally hit the church in the middle of the walls. And because it was right overhead, it was bright, it was a big loud bang.
I heard that because I was
Everybody
upstairs and I
in
thought,
the office went, is that another fucking bomb? Rumble of thunder. Oh no, it's just thunder.
I was
Well,
upstairs.
if there's a loud bang in this city, the first assumption is it a bomb?
Hey, do you know what it was? There actually was an explosion because a bunch of aliens were fighting up there, but luckily the creepy grey alien dudes fixed it all up and nobody noticed.
And there's the one with the Derry
They get
accent.
us back
Ah,
on top.
sure, it'll be grand. I will fix it by
The
tomorrow.
creepy grey aliens could look like people because they looked like they were the doctors.
They had
That's
they had a cloaking,
terrifying.
they had a cloaking device too.
I'm never going to go back to the doctor
There was the
again.
grey aliens.
When's
and
the last
there
time
was
you went to the OBGYN? I mean, be serious here.
And there was the Galians.
The
You know,
Galians.
the eldest brother, probably the Owl Man. You know, a couple other ones. I'm sure.
Hi, I'm a girly. And he always, like, I'm sorry, he just
He
has
had
to be
minimum
so
volume
much.
and maximum volume only.
I wouldn't want to meet that actor in real life because he always seemed to be on the verge of, like, you know that how when like little teeny kids get really upset and they sob until they make themselves throw up? That's what this guy reminded me of, and I was like,
little
It's
watery
a
eyes.
mixture of that and on the edge of possibly orgasming.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally edging the entire time. I assume he had like a vibro fucking suit, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
my
The whole
mother
time.
left me in a permanent state of half stiffy.
Yeah, his whole thing for his mother was maximum
It was
Oedipus.
just, like, so
Have
wrong.
you ever seen Orange is the New Black?
No, it's on my queue. but-
There is literally a scene where the fella is talking about edging, like getting the age of ours not coming, and his mother grabs his phone and goes, "Honey, don't tell me you're not orgasming. Honey, you have to orgasm. It's not healthy." And you're like,
And this is what happened in that movie. And then his mother attempted to force it upon him. And he murdered her.
Oh. See,
And
that's
that's why, and the younger brother got jealous, and that's why he's wanted to marry Jupiter.
that's why I didn't mind the sister
Our
so
plot's
much.
better.
Because she was like, you are the incarnation of our mother, and we never had a good relationship, so I hope that you and I can be friends. And I was like, aw, she's nice. She's not creepy, weird, sexual like the other two.
really? I thought the whole must touch your face thing was kind of.
Watch me naked getting turned into a younger version.
Yeah, that too.
I'm now
Yeah,
your
that
age.
was kind of creepy.
Could they only afford the makeup for old upper part? Because when she's younger, we have a full body nude shot. But when she's older and going in, we don't. I think they couldn't afford old makeup for the whole thing.
Or the
Well, how
fact
do you
that
make
nobody
how do
wants
you
to see
age a
that.
butt? I
Well,
mean, 'cause
when
that's
you-
always was.
When you've
Nobody
got,
wants to see that. You are criminally suggesting that there isn't a market for that.
Of course there is.
Well,
Old men.
dude, when it comes to money, you know, they either have the, you know, pay the money for that, or they pay the money on having a 751,522nd sim person dressed as an 18th century pre-French Revolution aristocrat at the wedding. Which one are they going to go for?
They're going to go for the sim guy, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, who are all these people? He's like, oh, they're all Sims. And like, I really wanted it to next to go to like,
Oh,
you know,
no.
no, it pans back and they all have the little green diamond.
Thinking about wedding.
Watching wedding.
I love sim.
And then on the back, blue puddle.
Somebody's lit the spaceship on fire and they're like,
Oh, they did the space toilet.
Do you know why all the Sims were at the wedding? He has no real friends.
You're right.
Yeah.
He has a servant. We're going to assume space whores.
Yeah.
And
They could
then robot people only. No friends.
Also,
And the mercenaries he paid. No friends.
here's the thing. Do you see when Kane comes... Also, Kane could only enter a place via explosion.
Explosion.
Yeah.
He's got the Tony Ya in Warrior King, or what's his other name?
Yeah.
Come on,
Do you see when
Where
he
you can
crashes
only
into
go
the side of
through
the ship?
doors by killing people.
Doesn't it decompress?
I figured this out. He is 40% human, 40% wolf, 10% Michael Bay.
What about the other 10%?
He
Plot
could do
convenience.
these.
40. Oh, yeah, that's true. All right.
For plot convenience.
Yeah, 10% Michael Bay. There you go.
Channing Tatum's so massive on buff, I was expecting the John Cena explosion openings the entire time.
Also, I think there's something up with their space travel because there's severe time dilations.
What do you mean?
An action that should take a second takes a lifetime when
Whoa.
Kane is running.
Yeah, he's like, you must put the magical
time.
space tattoo in here. No,
Hyperbole.
vacuum.
And in the end, the woman, she decides to continue being space royalty and owning the earth, but she wants to clean toilets anyway.
Yeah, so she goes
No,
back to
I have a
like
theory
working
about that.
for her illegal.
I have a theory. What she's actually doing is, because she now owns Earth, the little grey aliens obey her. So what she's actually doing is she's sitting there with a cup of tea and the little grey aliens are fucking cleaning.
And then she has to make it look like it's clean.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was just cleaning this whole time.
What was with the hover bike? It's like every now and again they turned off the stealth field. So it's like, I'm perfectly visible and somebody could take pictures and put it up on the
Maybe
internet.
it could only be maintained for a certain amount of time.
Oh, or when they're slowly creeping towards the farmhouse to attack, it's like, hi!
Right. They're slowly creeping and she's up there with the hover or the stealth field.
Although this
And she's crouched over
this
and she's
mercenary,
being
it's too bad because she looked really interesting. We never found out a single fucking thing about her. Reminded me so much of Noodle from Gorillas, and I was
The
like,
last one with the tattoos that move.
no.
The Japanese woman,
Yeah.
she had her tattoos move
Oh,
a
I
little
didn't
bit.
Yeah.
see her
I
tattoos
didn't
moving.
notice that.
But
So
yeah,
that was
she
either-
was like, wow,
It's
this
got dark
character
gifts on
reminds
her
me of an
face.
animated character from
Daffy
Pretend.
Gross, that JPEG.
But do you want to know how Sean Bean's character got a daughter? You know the thing about bee hierarchy, they would make him a drone.
So his penis
She's a
exploded?
bee, she is a bee daughter.
Yeah, the bee daughter, so she's going to be like some sort of a queen character or
Maybe
a warrior,
he-
but
maybe
who he obviously mated with a queen.
Maybe he had sex.
Answer
No, he
was
had, no, maybe he
royal
had
jelly.
sex. No, maybe he had sex with a regular human woman, and she died because he stung her.
His penis came out
No, there's
Doesn't
a.
he die afterwards?
very slowly. Well, no, yeah,
No,
but
he
like
has the
human-
first aid spray. He does.
I could never do it ever again.
Sprays
I'll never piss ever again.
Worth it. No, but yeah, how did he have Bee Babby? How is Bee Babby formed?
She
That's
caught, and it's like she caught the bug. I had to do something, and then we never hear if she survived the plague that she
That's
had.
why
She's a bug. Caught the bug? What bug?
I don't know.
Confused.
Apparently, there's some plague that
That's
we're not
why there were
privy to.
beehives everywhere. That was all that's left. Whenever the daughter was being born, he turned the entire house into a massive hive, and so she could be born there in the center of it, like everything was covered
Too
in
many
royal jelly and
bees.
stuff. And he
All
still
over.
in
I
the
had a
years since
nightmare
hasn't
about
removed
bees.
all the crap, and that's why the house was the way it was.
No, because sometimes like honeybees will go and be in a house, but they make hives everywhere, and a lot of people don't even I hear a noise in the house, and then all of a sudden why is this thing? Oh, it's honey, and then bees, and then it's on the news.
Did you see that 2 gazillion wasps' nest that was in a spare room? This
Yes.
old woman in England, I believe, had a spare room. And there was one of these knitted quilts, the ones that have holes in it. You don't wonder how that blanket's supposed to work. My grandmother used to make them.
It's
You mean like the one we used to kind of cocoon you on the sofa?
Yeah, like that, right? And it was along the bed, and it was just full of wasps. And she's like, they heard a weird loud buzzing noise. How loud must the buzzing have been? And there was nothing but bees, Oprah bees.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
started in the quilt, and then they started building the nest. So it was halfway up the wall and across the floor. So it was between the floor, the bed, and the wall. So it was
The exterminator's
Burn your
I've
home.
never seen so many wasps.
burn your entire home and your whole
basically
village.
the exterminator opened the door and went,
Nope,
Close
nope,
door,
nope, nope, nope,
leave.
nope, nope.
Leave. We're burning it. We're burning it. Leave.
Oh, they went in, they gassed them all.
Yeah, I know.
That was just the nope, 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 nope.
Why are no
Yeah,
exterminators like the exterminators in Arachnophobia? You know the dude running around with
John Goodman,
Yeah, John Goodman was the exterminator and he had the two hilarious goo guns.
the acid guns.
Yeah. Why is real extermination not as cool?
It is
Property
called,
damage.
called the Organ Man. At least in the commercials, anyway.
Now, back
He's
to
got
the
a
point.
mech. Oh.
Me and Amanda were talking about this on the way up. Who was that author who says who leaves things to the imagination?
Oh, and Ryan, you reminded me a little teeny bit of Gene Wolfe.
Right. What I mean by that is they mention a thing and give you vague enough information so that you can form your own idea, but they don't basically sit down and say, here's the story and the history of our Imperium. Now,
Let me
that's
explain to you the entire world of darkness.
yeah, this
Codex Legion,
Yeah.
Codex Aegis, Codex Rat People, Codex, what do they call them? Sorry, Raptor...
Raptrodactyls.
I leveled up!
So that's all so well and so good. And I actually quite like this in certain things. But the problem with this film is that they did it with everything.
Oh, that's the property of things and stuff.
They
Oh, wait.
tried to do show not tell, but the point was they didn't really show it
It
either.
was kind of reference, not tell.
And it's
Yeah.
awkward when you do that with a fish out of water story. The fish is meant to be our
The straw man.
view. We're
Yeah.
meant to be able to see from their perspective, so that's why the people turn around and go exposition.
So
As you know.
To go back to Titus, that's his entire purpose in his story was exposition.
Hello, my
Exposition.
dear. I am your exposition.
You know, I think this film would have been much more interesting if they'd made Jupiter a male character and made Cain a female character. Think of a useless man rather than
That would have
playing
been
the usual
hot.
trope.
then Cain would have been a bitch.
Yes! I agree. No, it'd be great. She'd be like, I'm a wolf.
You're
I'm insane.
smiling. You're trying not to laugh.
You know,
And then I would have been like, I think we need to
There
buy
would have been
some
heat
DVD
comments,
and
it would have been awkward.
Cain would have been played by like a
How many
young,
nipples would there have been? It's open to question.
Cain would have been played by young Angelina Jolie or possibly Michelle Rodriguez and then die at the end.
Poor Michelle
She ever
Rodriguez.
made it?
I'm sure she'd made it in one film.
Sean Bean made it here though.
Yeah, there was nobody with a rolled up newspaper.
Oh, kids with magnifying glasses. Look out, Sean Bean, look at a giant glass!
Oh
You know, for all
The
of
fly ending and there's
no.
spider
My
people.
compound eyes
Hello,
are
me.
useless.
Uh,
I was in Lord of the Rings.
wait, when he got his wings back, did he get insect wings?
I was wondering
That would
that.
have been really cool.
There was a woman with insect wings in the
Yeah,
anti-grav orgy.
But that just wouldn't have been as cool. That would have made him look like a little fairy instead of like a big. Wolf.
Yeah, but if you made
How
it windows,
intimidating for the military!
it's like, how did they couldn't do stealth? It's like we're coming in quietly under the radar. Does anybody hear that?
What the hell is it?
I was like, get it's bug spray. Like, no.
Oh no!
It would just be like fighting Baxter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, because you can get very powerful spray. The raid whole nest killer, and that is accurate up to 30 feet. And I know because I once shot it indoors, and I nailed that fucker. I nailed it. He falls to the ground. I nailed him again. And then the apartment started to smell like lighter fluid, and I was like, I don't feel good. And I read the back and it says petroleum distillate. Do not use indoors. I was like, oh.
Don't breathe this.
I almost died, but it was fine. I killed the wasp. That's what mattered.
See, I'm thinking
We had to burn the house,
is a
and we got him.
Cain
I'll
and
tell you.
Sean
I'll tell you
Bean.
after we're done. This the epic story of the wasp and me.
This through the fight of this is a hint for how it should have ended. In that fight, just Cain pulls out bug spray.
Aye.
So Jupiter Rising. If you've made it this far into the vlog, you already know if you want to go see it or not.
It's not a complete waste of your £4, but you're gonna want them back.
Take some friends, rip the shit out of it.
Go to the pub first, smoke a joint first, do whatever you want because you'll just have a grand old
Get in
time.
communion with your inner bee.
Amanda Hagan Productions does not condone the use of drugs.
It does, however, condone the use of bee costumes.
If you want to go and see the movie in a bee or a wolf costume,
Be
do
a
it.
bee.
There's just so many Dr. B references here.
They
There's also 1.2. Jupiter literally sicks a swarm of bees on a guy. The guy with like the sound gun.
Some sort of like
And then-
gravity shockwave can.
And then
There
Sean
was also a Gatling gun.
Sean Bean yelled at the guy before he got shot. And he was like, "Oh, beeswax."
I was like,
Oh yes,
Yeah.
his bee pun beeswax, which means bad. This is not good or crap. But he couldn't say
Ooh,
crap
mother
because that would be like a dog term. So it's like, oh, dog shit. But it's like, no, beeswax. That's as bad.
Beeswax.
Bees
That's
excrete that,
like,
right?
that's like saying, oh, drywall. Like, he's a bee, so he builds of it.
Do you know, I'm actually surprised they didn't have more dog puns with Kane. I was expecting a fetch, a sit, or something like that.
I'm
Food dog
expecting him
bone.
to shave his head and
His
start
name
going
was
after crazy green shit.
Kane Wise.
Right. So they get
Meanwhile.
these genetically engineered super
Yeah.
soldier people, right?
Mhm.
Made for military. Why haven't they got like implants to make them follow the commands of people? And he bit an entitled, he bit a noble, and
He like ripped someone's throat
his
out.
throat, right. Okay. So then they could have had a perfectly good Zodish moment in the old or the Dick McBag, the Eddie Redmayne brother, and just went kneel, and then the dog has to like, heel.
Down boy. That's what
There
she
was
said.
a point where they could have had Jupiter being Action Queen
Yeah.
whenever he's disabled because of a built-in implant, and then she would have had to fight and save him, and that would have been an interesting role reversal. But they were not thinking like that. when they
Maybe,
were
like,
making
if
this
she
Actually,
movie.
that
found,
was
like-
deliberate. I saw an interview with Wachowski. They said basically the characterization of Jupiter as basically a damsel was deliberate because they felt that they'd seen too many films recently where women were basically written, as they put it, as men with boobs, like in the Hunger Games and stuff. So they wanted to do old school sort of personification.
Yeah, but see,
Old
then you
school
can't.
chauvinism.
You-
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't explain what they were doing very well in the interview, but it did seem rather pointless. But that
Even-
apparently it was deliberate.
Right. I don't exactly want her to be Action Queen. Even if she just kind of caught on that people were fucking using her.
Aye.
What if she found
Even
like
if she tried to
like-
play
like-
mind games
like-
herself instead of going, I believe everything you say because you're smiling.
Like if
Maybe
she
she-
had kept a gun or something
Or-
hidden in the wedding dress, and it's like, hold on a second, and then Kane comes, it's like, we're out of here.
maybe if she had just managed to find in every place that she was the space toilet brush, she could have rocked it.
Yeah.
Like Sonic Screwdriver, except Sonic Toilet Brush. Scrubbing bubbles?
Or go for like what ash kill in Aliens, but like down the neck. It's like that's horrifying.
Like, get a porno mag and sort of ram it down the throat.
But use a toilet brush instead. That would be horrifying.
As you know what they were trying to do with the ash thing? The explanation for that killing method was
No.
it was meant to be phallic. It was meant to be because
Well,
Ash,
half the film was okay.
well Ash being a robot, he can't have sex stuff, but he's got some sort of
You know
some
when you
version
make a
of human
point about
drive.
it, deep throat this magazine, please.
This porn magazine.
Do you know when I was playing
Didn't
Alien
notice.
Isolation,
Yeah, that's
there
what it
is
was.
actually a guy with a magazine shoved down his throat?
Yes.
I think you were there when I
I was
found that
there
guy.
and I was like, what? Is Ash been here? The guy's been killed by synthetic.
A working Joe. You always know a working Joe.
So-
So I can't wait to play the video game of this.
Yeah, where are the video games at? Where are the video games at?
Well, it depends on how
Cass
much money it
keeps
makes.
getting on
but-
that.
Which is going to be bugger all.
You're
so
allowed to
unfortunate.
put like random letters after your names, so just get on that. You got money.
They had numbers.
Yeah, there was like
ASC or
Wachowski,
something.
PGW or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was something. I'm like, what does that stand for?
I was like, I don't know.
Something of the arts.
Paid Gone Wild.
No, I just used PGW because it was the
Producers
first
gone
thing.
wild. We have so much money to spend on the CG.
Actually, PGW stands for Publishers Group West. It was just the first acronym I could think of.
Oh, okay.
It's a publisher.
Why must you ruin my fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
But
Damn you and your logic.
Producers gone wild.
Round up. What do you think of the film? Laugh
Don't
again.
take it.
Just laugh again.
No, don't take it seriously. It's a good bad film to laugh at the illogical fallacies, like a bridge in the middle of a gravity well that has no purpose of being there other than the main character to grab
Maintenance
onto.
robots.
Illogical fallacy. I think that's a illogical fallacy.
Illogical fallacy
Not
would
necessary.
be a great name
Yes.
for.
Fallacy must be.
That would be a great name for a
Yes.
YouTube series.
Yes.
Illogical fallacies.
That would be a
Point
good
is-
game.
It's stupid. Shouldn't be there. Yeah.
I was entertained. And is that not what we all want?
It is a good bad film.